Our first round is called Headliners. Here's a picture of America's former and possibly future first couple, Bill and Hillary Clinton. But what does BCAH stand for?
Just a very wild guess. Is it Bill Clinton and Hillary?
That'd be terrible. Imagine if we got it first time.
Bill clocks available hookers.
Bill's cigars always humid.
I've got a slightly different one.
I prefer clammy.
Is it? Bill controls Android Hillary. Look at him, he's like...
It looks like he's pointing her out to a sniper. Is that what it is? Bill considers assassinating Hillary?
Yes. I'll give if we could possibly steer it.
I know the answer, I
correct.
reckon.
You're going to go for...
Bill campaigns alongside Hillary.
Ooh. That's exactly right. Well done, Russell. Commercials that never made it to air.
Come to Trigo Mills. We got peacocks and everything.
We've got surprises in store. The escalator's broken and the staff know fuck all. Dignitas. It's not au revoir.
Have you had an accident that wasn't your fault and has ruined your life? Next time, use Durex.
Try uniform dating, because with the way government cuts are going, pretty soon it could be the quickest way to get a policeman to your house in an emergency.
If you can find it cheaper anywhere else, tell us and we'll burn their shop down.
The DFS sale has ended.
Have you been injured whilst doing voluntary work? Well, it's your lookout, isn't it?
The Dyson hand dryer. It's a perfect way to drown out the sound of somebody having a shit.
Papa? Papa? No, I'm sorry, Nicole, we've lost him.
Buy little wine, because poor people shouldn't have to drink cider.
Steven Gerrard drinks Lucasade. This has been a Red Bull commercial.
News International. When you talk, we listen.
To qualify for second meerkat toy, Alexander has invaded Ukraine.
Milk. Try and forget it came out of a cow's tits.
Have you booked Joe Hart to advertise your product? Have you paid for advertising space until the end of the World Cup? Then you may be entitled to compensation.
At the end of the points go to Josh, Angela and Andy. The next topic is unlikely things to hear on a TV business show.
Well, the footsie has had its best day since March. It went shopping, had lunch with friends and took in a show before shagging a complete stranger it met in a bar.
Our invention lets you know whether or not a girl fancies you. We call it beer.
OK, Dragons, I've developed a system that lets you get your own seat on the bus, and it involves talking slightly too loudly, then pissing yourself.
This morning, I'm asking for £500,000. And with that, I will buy 500,000 lottery tickets.
Good evening, Dragon. Oh, jeez, what the hell is that? That's Evan Davis, the host? I'm out.
OK, we may have lost some money promoting Michael Jackson 02, but let's face it, I've just signed a deal for the new Oasis tour.
Hello and welcome to Working Lunch, a show for people who are so good at business they're sat at home watching the TV in the middle of the fucking day.
Dragons, I have 3 words for you. Reggae, reggae condoms.
The last task was easy, and yet you cocked it up. I only asked you to blow the bloody doors up.
This week, the Dragons meet a retired Nigerian brigadier with an offer that sounds too good to be true.
Today, there was a hard drop on the footsie, and I got a bruisie on my handy-wandy.
This week, the apprentices face their toughest task ever, selling the shite Sir Alan actually makes.
OK, Jim, and the point's going to Frankie Hughes Stewart.
OK, the next topic is lines you wouldn't hear in a sci-fi movie.
Hi, is that NHS Direct? Yeah, a bit of a temperature and I've got an alien coming out of my stomach. 2 paracetamol, OK.
OK, Mr. Zulu. Set course for the 4th quadrant to the Orion Nebula. I think there's a Nando's there.
We're sorry to announce that there is a replacement beam-down service this weekend between the ship and the planet Splooge.
You've got to imagine this in a Scottish accent. This is our Independence Day! There you go.
They abducted us and took us to their spacecraft, and then they explored our bodies with strange probes. I'll be honest, it was the best stag night I'd ever been on.
This man can now reach the full potential of his brain. Joey, wake up, you can tie your shoes. Reem.
What the people don't know, Captain Kirk, is that when I do that V thing, that means in Vulcan, I've had your mum.
I think this time tunnel is broken. We have gone 1,000 years into the future and Bruce Forsyth is still working.
If you take the red pill, you will enter the Matrix. If you take the blue pill, you will have a boner for 7 hours.
This is it. The machines are taking over. Hashtag apocalypse.
Yeah, I've had a look at it, mate. The problem is your nano boosters are shot and your warp drive is fucked.
Our planet is dying. We seek a new home. Which of you is Phil and which of you is Kirsty?
The dinosaurs are killing everyone. Why do we keep reopening this park? Who keeps giving us public liability insurance?
So the plan is you get in the time machine, go back in time and cock-block Hitler's dad.
Phone home. Phone in Joan. No, phone home.
OK, at the end of that, the points go to Matt, Catherine and Andy. OK, here we go. The first subject is lines you wouldn't hear in a sci-fi movie.
Captain's log, stardate 21:35. It's a Tuesday.
Actually, Jeremy Carr's just got the DNA results back. And apparently, Luke, I'm not your father.
Commander Skywalker, bad news. We left R2-D2 outside to stand guard, and the council took him away for emptying.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. I've seen attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I've seen...
There's a giant Satsuma in front of the ship. Go to orange alert.
First, there were snakes on the plane. Now the British remake, Wasp in a car.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down now, I shall become more powerful. Get off, you prick!
What is it, Captain? I've never seen anything like it in my life. Of course not, Scotty. It's the sun.
Since you have got your laser gun trained on me, I've got a bit of stubborn hair just here.
Permission to beam down to the Forbidden Planet. No.
I can see dead people. That's because I'm watching UK TV Gold.
Here are the sci-fi football results. R2-D2. C-3P. 0.
Look at all those fading, dwindling stars, forced to eat bugs in a jungle.
If you leave our protection, you will almost definitely die. Scotty, do you still want independence?
Luke, I am your father. Go to your room.
Captain, I don't like it when you call me Spock face.
To boldly go where no man has gone before. Anne Widdecombe.
How many Klingons does it take to change a dilithium crystal? 10. 1 to change it, and the other 9 to chastise him for performing such a menial task when he's a member of a proud warrior race.
We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of American presidential candidate Barack Obama meeting Gordon Brown this week. But what does BOTE stand for?
Is it Brown overdoes the ecstasy?
Is it Brown orders tango enema?
I think
you know when you've had a tango enema.
I think it is probably Britain's oddest twins exposed.
Is it Brown impersonates cricket umpires?
Yeah.
Not taking
the game seriously. Take the game seriously,
It's very
Michael.
difficult to get all the letters right.
You're not getting the rules of this at all, are you?
It's very hard to get the letters according to the words.
That's why it's a quiz.
Is Gordon Brown watching Bill Oddie's tit extravaganza?
To be honest, that is a TV show that needs to be made.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Is it Brown's Old Todger Explodes?
If it is, it's a shame that they didn't get that in the picture. Yeah.
Right, Mike.
I've got one that fits, I think.
Do the letters match the words you're going to say?
Is it? I thought today we could have actually had Carol Vorderman reveal the letters. She needs the work. Is it Brown orders tree explosion?
Tree explosion?
I think there's very little we can do to help you.
Is it Barack Obama tours Europe?
Yes, it is.
Very good.
The answer I was looking for is Barack Obama tours Europe. This refers to the presidential candidate's recent whistle-stop tour. After visiting Berlin and Paris, he ended his trip in Britain, where he met Gordon Brown, David Cameron and Tony Blair.
There's something of the Messiah about Obama, though. Do you know what I mean? You sort of look at him and you imagine him walking into a room and it's just... just flowers appearing and rainbows and people leaping out of wheelchairs and women going, I'm pregnant through his eyes. And you imagine Gordon Brown walking into a room and all you can see is a dog vomiting. That's it.
There's this thing, isn't there? There's a big fuss because Barack Obama got, what was it, 200,000 people in Berlin? Let's not forget that the last time 200,000 people gathered in Berlin, it was to listen to the most evil man in the world, David Hasselhoff.
This is what worries me about Barack Obama, though. Well, you know, he might well be elected. We don't know. He might be elected in November. He'd never be elected here because his slogan, his campaign slogan, is "Yes, we can," which is the slogan of Bob the Builder. That is quite ridiculous.
Do you know that Gordon Brown gave gave him presents? Obama came, and Gordon Brown gave him 2 books on Winston Churchill and 2 silver picture frames, which immediately stinks of I forgot to buy my present, wrap shit from the house. And then to give him 2 books on Winston Churchill, if you're getting somebody a book, you need, you know, in case they don't like the book, throw in some variety. It's just classic Gordon Brown. I'll get him a book on Winston Churchill, and if he doesn't like that, I think we'll go for another one on Winston Churchill. You know, what's for dinner? Pasta, but if you don't like that, I can easily whip up some pasta. The man's a complete idiot.
Do you know what he got in return?
Well, nothing, because Obama left them on the plane,
Obama
bought at duty-free.
Yeah,
Right?
unless he came in and said, this, in this suspiciously triangular box, is a gift I bought you. Yeah, it's a Toblerone.
But you see...
I got you.
The thing we've got to remember about Obama, right, is he doesn't just appeal to black voters because they think that he's going to change society. He also appeals to American white voters who think that he's Tiger Woods.
I mean, let's face it, who is he actually going to be up against? He's going to be up against Senator John McCain, right? A man who came second to George W. Bush for the Republican nomination in the year 2000. What the hell have the Republicans been playing at? The best person they can find is somebody who wasn't quite as good as George W. Bush 8 bloody years ago.
Do you know McCain's slogan isn't too good either, actually.
Is it no, we can't?
No, his slogan is these oven chips contain 35% less... which isn't...
We play a round called Mock Up Your Daughters. This game involves Sarah, John, Chris and Andy, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's have our first topic, please. First topic is language. Who wants to come in on that? Chris.
Language, apparently, was developed by humans to help them during hunting. That's what people will tell you. I don't buy that. I think language is more likely to have developed spontaneously, probably between a cave couple who were just furious with each other, incandescent with rage, but completely incapable of expressing their emotion, just standing opposite each other in the cave mouth, going until something had to give. And one of them finally snapped and went, "You prick!" And I went, "Oh, it's all coming out now, isn't it? Never clean this cave up. This place is a tip." "Well, why didn't you say something before?" "Well, I couldn't, could I?" "You're a pig, you are. My mother warned me about you." "Oh, really? How?" Bantu, the Bantu languages of the southern African peoples, they speak with a system of clicks and tuts, this kind of using the throat and the tongue and the... constantly surrounded by horses they've no need of. It's a nightmare for them. Bantu for go away horse is... they're screwed, really, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Chris. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is home life. Who wants to come in? Sarah.
My home life involves no children. I don't really like children. And if you ask... most of my female friends don't have kids. If you ask any woman who doesn't have kids what would worry them about having kids, the answer would always be childbirth. From what I understand of childbirth, it changes you downstairs, doesn't it? Changes you downstairs. I quite like my downstairs the way it is, thanks very much. Certainly don't want an extension. But it's bound to change, though, isn't it? Because you're forcing a person out. That's what you're doing. You're forcing a person out. I've never forced a person out. I forced a couple in. But I was in a shop recently, and this little boy came running over to me, put his hand in mine and shouted, "Mammy!" And I thought, oh, sometimes forget me keys, but I think I'd remember that. And then his dad came over, and I thought, I wonder if this is the best chat-up line ever. And his dad's going to go, "No, no, that's not your mammy. Remember, your mammy left us because my willy's too big."
OK, that leaves us with Andy and John. The next topic, please. The topic is politics. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
So, we've had the Lib Dems announce their immigration plan. What they like to do is they'd like to put immigrants into places in Britain which don't, at the moment, have many immigrants. Quite what those parts of Britain will feel about that policy. I grew up for quite a long time in Cornwall, and there they regarded anybody who came from Devon as an immigrant. We had one bloke on our street who was known as the Traveller because he'd once been by train up to London. And we have a new president for Europe, a man by the name of Herman Van Rompuy. Now, the Sun can't wait to get a headline going on this one. Rumpy Pumpy, Rumpy Numpty, Humpty Rumpy. They'll go for gold if he gets involved in an affair with a one-legged ugly dwarf. Rumpy Pumpy from Rumpy Numpty with Frumpy Stumpy Grumpy.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, John, let's see what you've been left with. The topic is fitness.
I think as a country we all know that we're not as fit as we used to be. We still sell a lot of sports clothing, though. I'm from Liverpool. If you ever go to Liverpool and you look around at the number of people in tracksuits, you'll think you're in an Olympic village. The reality is you've only got to see the size of the tracksuits to know that you're not in an Olympic village. And the problem is when you invest in some sport and clothes, you feel you've got to do something with them. I bought a brand new pair of running shoes, a brand new pair of shoes that I thought I'll have to do something. One of my mates said, "Why don't you join us? A few of us are doing a 10K race." Never run a 10K before, and when you enter, you've got to put an estimated finish time. I didn't know what to put down. I phoned my mate Sam up. I said, "What shall I put down?" He said, "Oh, put 22 minutes. I know that seems optimistic. I'll put 24 minutes. I sent the form in. I turned up on the day of the 10K race. I turned up with my mates. I was stood there with an orange number. All my mates have blue numbers. The steward came up to me. He said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I was thinking of running the race." He said, "No, what are you doing back here with all the blue numbers?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, you're an orange number." I said, "So what?" He said, "Well, if you're an orange number, that means you're an elite athlete." He took me to the front. It was me and 3 Kenyans.
Good man, John. OK, in that round, the points go to Chris and Sarah.
The EU put tariffs on snuff, which is really going to annoy any 19th century aristocrats.
I love snuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, I popped some before. Give me a bit of courage to do this show. Did a little bit of snuff.
No, James, you did cocaine.
Oh. The boy who sold it to me told me it was snuff.
The small Dickensian boy who sells
Hello, Governor! Hello, Governor! Yeah, try this snuff, man. I've got a turkey and I've got some snuff.
He said he was a Dickensian crack boy.
You presume that was some sort of chimney thing.
Having a crisis, a fly's gone up Angela's nose.
Yeah, OK, that's also cocaine, right? Would you all on this side stop euphemistically doing cocaine?
How are you guys talking about cocaine when we've got the two who are dressed like Scarface over here?
I like Ed's little dead boy shirt he's got on with the little ghosty faces.
They're little... I've worn this in tribute because this is what Dara's going to look like when he's a ghost.
Yes, I will. When I pass away, I revert to my Mexican state.
You can imagine you hovering over all of our beds when you've passed away.
Unlikely lines from the grave. Step up to the mic.
Scenes you never thought you'd see.
Oh, you can't get rid of me now, Brian Cox.
Brian.
Science can't explain this, Brian.
What good is your physics now? Now we play a round called My Mock Shake Brings All the Boys to the Yard. This game involves Milton Jones and Ed Gamble, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that topic. OK, here we go. First subject, please. And the first topic is relationships. Ed.
So I've just moved in with my girlfriend. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Cheers, thanks for the support, Mum. That's good of you. It's good, it's exciting. The first time I've lived with a girl. Obviously, we're finding out a lot more about each other that we didn't know before. What I found out about her is she's kinder, funnier, more sensitive than I ever realised. What we've both found out about me is I am a terrible, terrible prick and so difficult to live with. Because it turns out I am a tidy person. I didn't realise. I thought I was normal. But apparently, it is not normal to have a favourite J-cloth. She is a messy, messy lady. She is unbelievable. She's laid back, no worries. She says that a lot. No, who has no worries? Are you dead? Are you a robot? What's wrong with you? You should wake up, worry, go to bed. That is a full day as far as I'm concerned. She genuinely said this out loud the other day. Hakuna Matata. And I'm starting to think the actual Swahili translation of that is doesn't hoover. Because there is underwear everywhere. This is an odd side effect of living with a girl that I did not fully anticipate. I no longer find women's underwear sexually titillating in any way whatsoever. Because I used to be able to just see underwear and that was enough to get me excited. Didn't have to be a woman in it. Just be a bra on the floor and I'd go, ooh, boobs were there. That's enough. Now, nothing like that. I see a pair of knickers now, it's just something the remote control might be under.
Well done, Obama. Very good. That leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is medicine.
I have to go to the chemist soon to collect my prescription. Not from PC World like last time. Those tablets were very difficult to swallow. Recently, I went to the chiropractors, or as they call them in the capital of Egypt, the practors. Well, I put my back out trying to shoot horses, but it turns out the World Health Organization aren't trying to eradicate polo. My dad was a doctor, my mum was a nurse. They had 6 children. We all left home early. Well, they needed the beds. I remember the birthday I asked for that game, Operation. 3 years I waited. I was talking to a nurse the other day. She said the main problem facing the NHS is Holby City. Actually, she might have said obesity.
Well done. In that hand, points go to Ed Campbell. Right in the back.
This round is called, if this is the answer, what is the question? On the board, 6 categories. Joe, which category would you like?
Sport.
Your category is sport. The answer is 250,000.
Is that the amount of Iceland dinners the robbers took from Carrick-Turner's house?
I think there's a point where they came in, do you have anything other than drumsticks? Is there anything that isn't breaded?
Is it what world ranking is the British tennis number 5?
Is it how many calories in a Scottish salad?
Is it, what position did I finish in the 1987 Henley School Sports Day obstacle race because I got stuck in the sack, but it didn't traumatise me at all. I don't even care now.
Is it, if you phone up British Telecom, which position in the queue are you likely to be?
Is it what percentage of people failed O-level maths?
Is it...
I'm gonna ask you to speed towards the correct answer.
It's sport, isn't it?
Is it to do with Beckham?
It is to do with Beckham.
How many shirts do the Americans claim that Beckham has sold?
That's absolutely right. Well done, Russell. Congratulations. The question I was looking for is how many Beckham replica shirts are LA Galaxy already claiming to have sold?
He's wearing that the wrong way round.
He is. That's the first case.
Does anyone think that Beckham actually knows he's in America? I think he just runs after a ball and all he notices is that occasionally it gets warmer. I don't think he even knows he's rich. He's like one of those cats that its owners left a fortune to.
Here we go. The first subject is things you didn't hear at the Queen's Jubilee.
And look at that, a sea of red, white and blue as thousands of hyperactive children vomit up the icing from the Jubilee.
You can't help thinking that nationalism may have gone a little too far. The flotilla is now anchored off France, ready to invade Calais.
And we hear recently that the Queen's dogs have done a complete overhaul of the palace plumbing system. Mercifully, they're corgi registered.
Come in, number 46. Your time is up.
And now's our chance to join in lustily with the second verse of the national anthem. On to be served. Ma, the Queen.
Yes, Doc. So if I say I've got a bladder infection, will it work? Oh, excellent. I can't stand Gabby Barlow.
Harry, when I told you to put on your uniform, I didn't mean that one.
And it's amazing to think, isn't it? She is 86 years old. Please give it up one more time. Annie Lennox.
And this is a real Jubilee mug. A man who's paid £25 for a Jubilee mug.
Awful scenes before the concert as a rather embarrassing fat man has jumped onto the stage. He's pulling faces and mouthing to Robbie Williams records. Oh.
And the Queen places the diamond in the stand, lighting the final Jubilee beacon. Now she enters the Crystal Dome and tries to collect as many golden coupons as she can.
boats spread out over the vast space of the Thames like thoughts in Fern Cotton's head.
Ah, there she is, Her Majesty the Queen. Where else could you see an 86-year-old standing for hours just waiting to be seen? Well, any NHS hospital. OK.
OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is health. Who wants to come in on that? Annie Parsons.
Leslie Ash. Now, she's just got compensation, didn't she? Because she got MRSA. The reason she was in hospital, right, was apparently she'd punctured a lung and broken 2 ribs during energetic sex. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking she was doing it wrong. If somebody said to me, would you like to have sex, but it could end up in you puncturing your lung, I think I'd go, oh, you go ahead, I'll sort myself out.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is George Bush. Who wants to come in?
Oh, I'll go. Well, what can I say about George Bush? He's doing a tremendous job and he's enormously popular right now. In the last poll in the United States, he came in just behind testicular cancer. He's the only president I can remember who wears an American flag pin on his lapel. Why? So he can remember what country he's in charge of? Ladies and gentlemen of America, he's always banging on about 9/11, right? 9/11, 9/11. Or, as the rest of the world knows it, 11/9. We're the only people who date that way. America's so arrogant because we put the month first. We think everybody knows what we mean. Imagine how perplexing that is to people in France. 9/11? What happened on November 9th? That was a good day. I got a hand job. Why are they crying all the time? Thank you.
Frank. OK, that leaves us with Frankie and Fred. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is modern men. Who wants to come in on that? Fred McCauley.
There's a trend for modern young men now to get waxed. I did recently have my legs waxed. I have to say it was for charity. And my pals were saying, have I had that done before, Macaulay? And I'm going, no. Well, it could be painful. So I went along. I was ticket number 14. There were 13 ladies in front of me getting their legs waxed. And I was watching them with interest. And it seemed to be no bother at all. The wax is going on. It's kind of, oh, Joanne. What is it, Tess? Who's picking the kids up? Oh, the au pair will get them. Nothing to it, I think. I got up there. The wax was on. I'll never walk again! What I didn't know is that women, when they're getting their legs waxed, have epidurals beforehand. I mean, I'm not tempted, you know, to shave other parts of my anatomy, you know. I've been lonely and fed up in hotel rooms, but I've never once thought, I think I'll get the sharpest thing in my toilet bag out and apply it to the wrinkliest part of my anatomy. And I'm not talking about my elbows.
Fred McCauley. OK, let's see what we've been left with for Frankie. Let's spin the wheel. Children.
What an unbelievably sinister photograph. Don't worry, this is light-hearted whimsy. I've got a wee baby now, he's 9 months. I'm starting to get a bit fucking sick of him, to be honest. I went to the bath, and going to the bath, it really does bring home the wonder, the miracle, I suppose, that is contraception. Seriously, don't go. It's like watching the deleted scenes from Platoon. I got a wee daughter now, she's 4. And the other day, this is true, we're sitting having breakfast, and my daughter goes, Daddy, what's the best thing in the world? So I didn't even have to think about it, right? I said, darling, you're the best thing in the world. Didn't even have to think about it. It's definitely you. And she sat there for a bit, and then she went, for me, it's sausages.
Ladies and gentlemen, that round, the points go to Frankie and Greg. OK, here we go. Let's have the first topic, please. The first subject is parenting.
I'll take this. We have 2 children in our house. 2 boys. One is 4 months old and the other is 21 months old. Yeah. We didn't want there to be too big a gap, so my wife had them both by cesarean. To be honest with you, the 4-month-old, he's already more of a man than I've ever been, because he's already mastered the art of the casual vomit, something I could never do. When I'm sick, it's a biblical event, it's coming out my nose, I'm pulling muscles in my back, but he's so cool with it, he'll puke and then he'll look at you like you just did it, you know. What's this? That was you? Don't think so, doesn't sound like it. But it's amazing the pressure that can build up inside a small child. It's got the puke flies out and the piss flies out and the shit. Honestly, if I was to feed him creosote instead of milk, I could do me fence with him. The thing we've been careful about, though, is even though I have 2 boys, I didn't name either of them after me. Because I didn't want to have that big Ed, little Ed thing. Because when you call him one of your sons Little Ed, it just sounds too much like you're talking about your cock. Oh, Little Ed's been misbehaving. It just seems a bit... Honey, will you just hold Little Ed? Just hold Little Ed for just a minute. Hold Little Ed. Oh, Little Ed's been sick on you. It's just not...
Thank you very much, Frank. OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. OK, let's spin that wheel. And the topic is celebrity.
Celebrity. They've started a celebrity magazine for the elderly. It's called Hello, Hello, Hello. Uri Geller, surprisingly hard to stab. Malcolm X chose that name rather than admit he'd accidentally put a kiss at the end of a text message. I went to see Walt Disney on Ice. Bit disappointing, it's just an old bloke in a freezer. The new president of France said this week that English speakers were arrogant in their refusal to learn foreign languages. At least I think that's what he said. But it all just sounded like haw-hee-haw, haw-hee-haw. And remember, that's not racist if it's about the French. I'd have £5 on the Dalai Lama if I was a Tibetan man. When they buried the man who invented Tetris, the whole cemetery disappeared. As well as 7 years in prison here, Abu Hamza could be deported to the United States where he could face the electric chair. But on the plus side, if he is electrocuted, at least he can just stick his hook in the air and pretend to be a bumper car.
Well done, guys. Points to both of you. Come on back. Yes, the answer I was looking for was Gove announces exam changes. This is the news that Education Secretary Michael Gove has announced a new English baccalaureate certificate to replace GCSEs. From 2015, students will work towards a demanding 3-hour exam at the end of a 2-year course rather than the current combination of coursework, modular exams and multiple retakes.
He's even invented an exam that thicker kids won't be able to pronounce. It's the back of what? The back of what? The back. Oh, give me a shovel, I'll go down a mine.
I think the idea is if you're academic, then you get a baccalaureate, and otherwise they teach you practical skills like how to baccalaureate.
The Tories have assured us that under this system no child will be left behind, but how can we take Tory promises that no child will be left behind seriously when their leader's David Cameron?
What's do you know the abbreviation is?
It's called
EBC. EBAC.
It's called the EBAC.
EBAC, which is when Yorkshire people make payment over the internet.
going from Star Wars, isn't that?
Yes, it was.
Evac.
Do you know who hated
I
the
bet you
Evacs?
can't do the impression. Skywalker! Your evacs will not qualify you to run the Empire.
There's been a lot of debate over, whether grades have been devalued. And I was discussing that recently with my nephew, Professor Timmy.
So, hang on, sorry, because it's one of these things that I genuinely am always perplexed about, coming from a different country as I have, with my spices and my silks. To your nation. And there's so many great things about it, except your exams, which are mad. And not that the education, by the way, is great. I'm not saying anything about the education people get here, it's fantastic. But the exams are mad.
There are people who, when confronted with an exam paper, just go to pieces completely and forget how to count, and I think it's very unfair that they are marking the papers.
When
There are people who just shouldn't be taking exams. My friend Carl was at sixth form college with a girl who got her A-level results, and when she pulled out the piece of paper with the 3 letters telling her what her future would be, she went, that spells none.
People make an awful lot about the pressure that kids are under, and I suppose they are, but speaking as an ex-teacher, that when it comes to exam time, there's far worse pressure on the teachers, because you have to spend sometimes 4 or 5 hours in those halls just walking up and down, and it's a recipe for insanity. I had no choice when I was teaching but to invent a game called Compile. It was just to see who could walk up and down the aisle the campest. We started off just sort of slightly mincing. Honestly, by the end of it, I was walking down a full aisle of children like this. And I knew it was time for me to leave teaching when I got to the end of one aisle, genuinely. During an actual GCSE, a kid looked up at me and went...
So were you essentially voguing your way?
I'm not exaggerating. By the end of it, I was like...
The thing is, they want to make the exams harder, don't they? But surely they're hard enough already if your teacher is walking up and down, camping it up.
Oh, no, I'm still qualified, technically. We'll have to cut this bit out.
Really? Is that your safety net?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Do you think anybody, having seen you in In-Betweeners, anybody who's ever going to
Well, you've always got to trade.
I did a gig at the University of Central England, which is in Birmingham. That's what they're trying to hide from you. And as an opening line, I said, UCE! So called because that's the grades it takes to get in. But I had to explain it to them.
I'll tell you, I was in an exam when I was at school. My mate, at the back of the hall went... we were all waiting to leave. Someone at the back of the hall went... Bow! Mr. Mearden, the exam invigilator, went... And then someone else went... Bow! And then... Bow! From different parts of the hall, and it led to my favourite sentence I've ever heard come out of an adult's mouth, which was, all right, no one leaves until the meowing stops.
At the end of that round, the points go to Chris, Hugh and Gary.
Just time now to see what the papers say.
Milton, which category would you like?
Let's have politics.
OK, politics it is. Your category is politics. The answer is over 1 million. What is the question?
Is it how many extra minutes Manchester United get to play if they're not winning?
Look at my big shiny face. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the way my forehead glow follows you around the room.
What you have to remember is that Cameron was in PR. I was 12 years old when I had a paper round. Apparently, the rumour is that David Cameron wants to make all towns in Britain triple-barrelled, like Kingston upon Thames, Berwick-on-Tweed. He wants to call it Leeds-on-Benefit. Well, his eyes are shinier and his hair's sleeker, but it's not necessarily an airbrush. It could be he's eating pedigree chum.
his coat is more glossy. Yes. Essential minerals are good. So you should see him running through a field and over a wall. It's incredible, man. He's youthful and dynamic.
From the makers of Coca 1. Coca 2. Is it what did his friends call Nostradamus? Now, our next guest, believe it or not, is both a poo and a lice inspector. Sorry, police inspector. Troy, certificate 15. If you're too young, why don't you make a giant wooden adult?
But we've all been drunk at work, haven't we? I remember when I worked on an oil rig in the Mexican Gulf.
Unlikely things to hear in a science programme.
1643. The cold air balloon is invented. But it doesn't really take off.
Milton. Let's see what subject. Let's spin the wheel. The subject is family.
One of my earliest memories is seeing my mother's face through the oven window. As we played hide and seek, and she said, "You're getting warmer." My auntie Jean got a sister called Jean. Her daughter Jean just had a baby, called it Jean. They all went to a nightclub to celebrate. They got to the door and the bouncer said, "Sorry." You're all wearing trainers. My grandfather, Jean, always complaining about how much things cost.
£1.50 for a cup of tea, £2.25 for 3 custard creams.
I said, "Look, Grandad, you just popped round. I didn't invite you." My other grandfather, he was always going on about how in the old days people could leave their back doors open, which is probably why his submarine sank. My other grandfather, when he died, we didn't even get the chance to say goodbye, which was all the more poignant because he drowned in a bowl of Cheerios. I used to own a Toyota years ago, and I remember once I was driving along eating a marshmallow, and all of a sudden my airbag deployed. And in that moment, I thought I'd become really, really small.
Carlsberg don't do liver transplants. But if they did...
Well, you can tell that Beckham thinks something is wrong, because if you look at the picture, he's going, "I." There's an A coming out of his mouth.
I.
This game involves Milton, Andy and Diane, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. Without kicking the shit out of the set.
Oh, there you go.
Fuck off the face.
Well, that's a minute of the DVD sorted out.
Hey, that moment seemed a bit too hot for TV, yeah.
So, talk me through it again, Mrs. Hopkins. You were having Sunday dinner. You said to your husband, "Will you carve?" And he just lay down on the floor and gave birth to a baby cow. A word about registers. Most of the staff are on one. Is it the gap between this word... No, it's not. Ruined it. Dear Deirdre, I am a control freak. What should I do? I'll tell you what I should do.
Yes, the answer I was looking for was Fox scandal rocks Conservatives. This is the news that Defence Secretary Liam Fox has been forced to explain his conduct following allegations that his working relationship with best friend and former flatmate Adam Werrity broke the ministerial code.
Wouldn't it be great if all of this had come to light because someone would be going through Fox's bins? All he's done is take a friend to work, and that's not actually a crime, is it, Mr. Truffles? What's that? Do you want to say hello to the boys and girls? No, I'm depressed.
Do you know why...
I met my wife on the net. We were both rubbish trapeze artists. Terrible, isn't it, when someone doesn't want to live with you anymore? Part of you is thinking, I don't think you're going to survive in the real world. Another part of you is thinking, well, at least I'll be rid of your drunken arguing. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to let the Scottish people go. Any Scottish people here? You can go. A girl came up to me the other day, started going, foot loose, then her foot fell off. I tried to impress a girl once by putting my foot down on the pedal. Turns out she'd seen a bin open like that before. A girl came up to me once, she said, you know, I can tell someone's personality by what kind of car they drive. I said, I haven't got one. So lads, do you ever get given a job to do and you deliberately do it really, really badly, so you never get given that job again? I mean, I hardly know CPR anyway. My wife's giving me the silent treatment at the moment, lying there day after day, beginning to smell a bit now. What Cameron should do is get a great big black hat and the sleep mask he got on the plane, and he stand up in front of the G20 and said, I will lead you out of economic austerity, for I am... borrow. When I found out my bank were fixing the loan rate, I went down there every single day and shouted at them, but then I consolidated all my anger into one monthly outburst.
Things you wouldn't hear on a political discussion show.
Sorry, did I interrupt you? Is it if you saw Pythagoras in concert, name one of the old numbers he might try and do? Is it...
Transport is the topic.
So I've got my own private jet. The rest of the jacuzzi belongs to my mum. If you've got a sat-nav, don't put the name of the company you're visiting into it. I tried to take some mayonnaise back the other day. I ended up in Helmand Province. I mean, I've got a car, but there's nothing I like better than making a bonfire on the passenger seat. Driving up and down, opening and shutting the electric sunroof and pretending to be a steam train. My uncle, he was a taxi driver, but then one day he left home without any indication. So recently, I was fell walking in the Lake District. Well, it's not quite true. Recently, I fell walking in the Lake District. I was going to tell someone, but the pillar box was full of sugar puffs. The worst job I ever had was forensic pathologist for the United Nations. And I remember uncovering the mass grave of 1,000 snowmen. Fortunately, it turned out to be a field full of carrots.
great on it. But it's like Milton, every so often, it's like this hilarious granddad that just wakes up.
Health officials have shut down the village fete. Apparently, there was an outbreak of tombola. Now it's over to our toys and games correspondent, Natasha Kaplunksky.
Other news, what has Prince Charles said is the largest challenge facing the world today?
Is it narrow doorways and you get your ears caught? Look, an ancient African city from the makers of Timbuk 1. How about giving 3-year-olds the vote and still having one ballot box, but 4 different shapes that they have to put through? It looks like a runner bean, only smaller. From the makers of Mange 1. What I didn't understand about the Scottish election thing was, if the Scottish didn't want to be part of Great Britain, where were they going to live? I think people quite like Nigel Farage, because he's a bit of a colourful character, which is ironic.
And the topic is family.
My uncle, he was a cruel man. He knew we lived in a bungalow, yet every year for Christmas we always got a slinky. It's a miracle my sister's getting married. I went to the printers to get the invites done. He said, well, what typeface? I went... She seems to like him. My grandfather, during the war, he broke the Enigma code machine. Then he went AWOL. Well, it's not quite true. Then he became an owl. My grandmother, she's been talking about downsizing, and now she's in a little urn. My other grandmother, she was a children's writer. You may have seen her book, Jack Goes Strawberry. I haven't always been popular with my family as a vegan. That doesn't normally work. Recently, my family all clubbed together and got me a voucher for a clinic in Switzerland. Thank you. It's not nice, though, to have another culture imposed on you at school. I remember when I was rushed to hospital with 80% Chinese burns. Welsh are getting stroppy, actually. I was in Cardiff in Waterstones recently. I asked for Pride and Prejudice, and the bloke said, I'm proud to be Welsh and I hate the English.
Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is the North-South divide. How?
The North-South divide, yes. I believe we should build a wall and make it official. I do. Obviously, you know, Northerners can build it. Well, pay for it. But it's all built on stereotypes. The assumptions are all... It's all built on stereotypes. Like, I have relatives in Grimsby who come to London and look for London to fulfil its stereotype. So they walk round going, oh, it's so unfriendly, no one chats to each other. And I say to them, why this constant need to chat? In Grimsby. I said to them, there was a little less chat and a bit more reading. Grimsby could be a cultural and economic superpower, it really could. But the assumption is ridiculous, though. The assumption that everybody down south is rich is unfair. Like London, yes, very wealthy city. It's also got the biggest concentration of poverty in the UK is in London. That's a fact. Not me, thank God. God, no. Don't be silly. No. This goes tits up. Mummy bails me out. But, see, maybe that's why I've got a thing about this, because I am from a very middle-class southern family, and I am a bit of a middle-class southern twat. You know, we're one of those families that meet and everything is lovely. It's like, so how are you? Are you well? Yes, I'm lovely. Are you lovely? I'm lovely too. But we're not really lovely. We can't do confrontation, the middle classes. That's why you never see us on the Jeremy Kyle show. Ever, do you? Ever. She's sleeping with your best mate! Well, obviously, I'm not happy about it, Jeremy. It'd be rubbish, wouldn't it? They're having a baby, she stole money off you to buy drugs. She is a bit of a character.
Thank you very much, Hal. Well done.
Now we're left with Josh. Let's see what you have. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is the home. Josh Whittaker.
My flatmate is kind of filling our kitchen full of all the kind of pointless things my mum has in her home now. I don't know if you've got... We've just got this tea bag saucer, the saucer for tea bags. It's a very useful item. If you haven't got it, what it is, it's a saucer that you keep halfway between your kettle and your bin. And it's basically for when you make a cup of tea and then you get the tea bag, look across at the bin and go... I mean, that's a journey, isn't it? I mean, that's 3 or 4 yards. I mean, I need a stop-off. That's like driving to Leeds. I could die of tiredness. Then you walk halfway, put your tea bag down, go back, pick up your cup of tea and walk past the bin and out the kitchen. All we've done is create a kind of tea bag death row. That's all we've done. We've got our tea bag sauce on our breakfast bar. If you haven't got a breakfast bar, what it is, it's an extra yard of sideboard. And it's for eating your breakfast. It's when you wake up in the morning, you want to eat your breakfast, but you think, bloody hell, it's too early for a table, isn't it? I mean, I can't handle one of them until lunchtime. I mean, what I want is something slightly higher and less comfortable. That's what I'm looking for here. There's one thing I don't want to eat at 8 a.m. It's a bar. That is the reason I feel so shit in the first place.
Well done to both of you.
This round is called Prime Minister's Questions. For the purpose of this game, I'll be the Speaker of the House of Commons. Rory, you're going to take on the role of Tony Blair. David and Joe, you're his Labour front bench colleagues. Hugh, you'll be a Conservative leader with your front bench, which is, of course, Frankie and John. You'll be taking a small story but treating it as if it's the heavyweight issue of the week. To start, I'd like to ask the Prime Minister for the government's reaction to the news that farmers have launched a campaign to get the term couch potato removed from the Oxford English Dictionary. They say the phrase makes the vegetable seem unhealthy and is bad for its image. Prime Minister?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the House will wish to be informed of the campaign by the British Potato Council to have the words couch potato...
I say potato.
You may say potato, we say potato.
Well, you know... Well, in which case, let's call the whole thing off.
Thank you. Can I congratulate the Prime Minister on his treatment of the word couch potato? My colleagues and I believe that the phrase couch potato, along with others such as sofa turnip and armchair carrot, are nothing less than an incitement to vegetable hatred.
Well, I think, you know, I would accept those comments, but I would also, if I might, point out that the removal of words from the dictionary is actually not a new phenomenon. I myself have removed the word socialism. The words trade union have also been removed, and last time I looked in the dictionary to find the words weapons of mass destruction, I couldn't find them.
Aren't there other words that it would be better for farmers to take out of the dictionary? Words such as over-subsidised and sheep-shaggers.
And talking of over-subsidised, what is the government going to do about the enormous number of French fries which may appear in this country, along with Swedes and sprouts from Brussels?
We actually believe that genetically modified crops are the way forward for the potato. We say new Labour, new potatoes.
We agree. We believe it would be a very good idea to combine the genes of a King Edward with that of a Premiership footballer to get a potato that roasts itself. Along with a bean combined with the genes of a suicide bomber to produce a runner bean that tops and tails itself.
The party opposite can trade potato puns as long as they like, but when the chips are down, we won the election and they lost.
Can I suggest you are simply being pea-brained?
I take it you're an expert in the field?
I certainly have ploughed that particular furrow yet.
You see, I mean, this is... Yeah, oh, yeah. Huh?
I can't think that you've gone to seed.
No. All right. You know, I tell you, I look at the party opposite, and what do I see? I see 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4.
What will the party opposite do about the disputed territory of Kashmir?
We will launch a Spud missile.
These ideas are half-baked.
That's enough. And the winner of that round is Hugh. Now we play a round called Angela Smirkle's Comedy Bailout. This game involves Nathan, Chris and Andy, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a Wheel of News, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers will step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. The first subject is finance. Can I have somebody to go in and talk on that? Andy.
So, you can argue a lot of people have got too much money, couldn't you? I would personally argue anybody who ever bought the autobiography of the talking meerkat, Alexander Orloff, you have too much money. Anybody who's ever bought glow-in-the-dark loo roll, you have too much money. Anybody who's ever bought a cosy sofa blanket with sleeves called a slanket, you know who you are. Also, anybody who's ever bought an innocent smoothie. How expensive are they? £2.49 for a bottle the size of a specimen sample. And they have the cheek to call them innocent. Ladies and gentlemen, go to a supermarket, buy yourself a banana. It will cost you 20 pence. Take a big bite, go, You would have saved yourself £2.49.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is health. Who wants to come in on that?
Right, health. I actually don't have that good a relationship with my GP. For one reason and one reason only. Up until the age of 17, my GP had me on their records as a woman. But yeah, they had me on their records as Miss N. Caton. And then one day they sent me a letter in the post addressed to Miss N. Caton. Now, because I'm 17, I don't really pay attention to the detail. I open the letter, and the letter says, Dear Miss N. Caton, your doctor surgery would like to invite you to attend a cervical screening next Monday at 9. Now, this is where I messed up. See, at 17, I knew what cervical was. That's obvious, right? But what I didn't know was that there's more than one meaning for the word screening. I thought screening was like, you know, you're screening a film. So, when it said we would like to invite you to attend a cervical screening, in my ignorant, naive 17-year-old brain, I honestly thought I was being invited to watch a movie about women's genitalia. Right? Now, I'm 17, I'm horny, I'm a virgin. Am I going to go? You're damn right I am. So next Monday morning, I go to my GP, I get to the reception, it's full of women, doesn't put me off. Walk up to the receptionist, I go, hey, how you doing? I'm Nathan Caton, I'm here for the cervical screening. She looks up, sees me standing there with nachos, popcorn and pick and mix. Starts laughing in my face.
OK, that leaves you with Chris. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is relaxation.
We're obsessed in this country, obsessed with relaxation. Currently, Waitrose, in their Essential range, sell Waitrose Essential lavender-scented candle. Because we've all been there, haven't we, ladies and gentlemen? There are no lavender candles in the house, darling. How am I to have a petal-strewn bath with my whale noise CD? Whale noise CDs. We are gullible bastards. We will buy anything so long as we've been told that it's relaxing. Whale noises? No. Are you relaxed? I've never been more at peace. I saw a CD once called Relax with Pure Scottish Moods. Relax with Pure Scottish Moods! Relax! Track 1, bit chippy. Track 2, slightly resentful in the country in the first place. Track 3, go, you bastards!
Very good, well done there. Point to Chris, congratulations.
OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear at a school assembly.
OK, today we're going to have a special outing. So, Miss Williams, if you'd like to tell everybody why you're a lesbian.
We welcome a new member of staff today. He has no arms and no legs and no body, and we will call him the Head.
Would whoever's milkshake is bringing all the boys to the yard, please stop it.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, boys and girls. I've just had a shit the size of a baby seal.
If you are found in possession of cocaine, you will be given 100 lines. No, wait.
And today in the after-school club, we're going to be using paper mache to make a mother that actually loves you enough to pick you up at 3 o'clock.
I'm delighted to say that during the summer holidays, Mr. Wang married Miss Kerr. His nickname will remain the same.
A wise man once said, boys and girls, that if you try your hardest, you can fulfil your dreams. Generally, that's true. Not for you, though, Tom. You can't read. So...
And today, everyone, we have a new boy. Now, for some reason, whatever reason, he's been to a lot of schools, so be kind to him. Will you please make your way to the front? Richard Poo Willie.
A word about registers. Most of the staff are on one.
So that is how you put on a condom. But, sir, shouldn't you have used a cucumber? Not with that E. coli kicking around.
Sorry I'm late. I just had a bit of a run-in with an interactive whiteboard. It told me to fuck off.
I've had all your mums.
The next topic is unlikely things to hear on a TV talent show.
Tonight, I'm going to be climbing a step ladder.
You're right. I can't sing. Thanks.
I'd like to dedicate this song to a friend of mine who was run over last week and is in hospital. The wheels of the bus go round and round, round and round.
I've got an ability that no one on this planet has. That's Ant, that's Dec.
It was like Elvis was in the building. You're fat and there's a stench of death.
Well, Peter, it's not what everyone would call entertainment, but you are one hell of an assassin.
I thought you hit the high notes really, really well. Be interesting to see if you can still do that when I haven't got your nuts in a clamp.
Oh, where's my double act partner? Oh, he's in here. Feeling nothing more than feeling, trying to hold.
When you said you were going to ride a donkey...
Yes, I have been on the show before. I was once trapped in somebody else's underpants, going, feeling.
That was an exceptional performance, and the way that you have overcome your blindness is truly inspirational. But this is a chip shop, the X Factor audition.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're all terrible, OK? All of you, you're completely dreadful. I don't know what you're doing. Especially you, Hasselhoff. What have you done since Baywatch?
And as well as that, I can unzip the top of my head. It's where I keep my pyjamas.
I know you said you were a Gary Glitter tribute act, but we weren't expecting you to do that.
Unlikely things to hear on a history documentary.
The Russians had Lemsip. The Americans had night nurse. This was the Cold War.
And it was in this humble florist that the War of the Roses began.
Guy Fawkes' bid to blow up the Houses of Parliament failed when he realised his body was made of jumpers and his head was an old football.
Tonight on Bruce Forsyth's History of Britain, Boadicea, Decea Bode!
Horatio Nelson, one arm, one eye. A tragic example of what can happen if you fall asleep and someone finds your organ donor card.
Welcome to Biggest Historical Boobs with me, Katie Price.
Tonight, I intend to find out exactly what did happen to Hitler's other ball. And my search begins right here in the Albert Hall.
And on Time Team tonight, we're in Stratford-on-Avon, where we've uncovered loads of monkey skeletons and some typewriters.
When Hitler started writing Mein Kampf, he intended it to be a light-hearted romp called Carry On Camping.
John F. Kennedy, Indira Gandhi, John Lennon. If history teaches us anything, it's that if you don't want your child assassinated, don't name them after an airport.
To be honest, I'm not interested in all this old nonsense, really, but since the end of Blackadder, the work's been fairly hard to come by.
It's hard to believe that this crumbling old ruin presented Weakest Link for as long as she did.
Of course, the Bronze Age was the third best age in history.
And now the documentary that every Channel 5 commissioner has dreamt of. Did Hitler sink the Titanic?
We've been digging in this field in Hampshire for 3 weeks, and we've found this one piece of crockery, which tells us we desperately need to get laid.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear over a tannoy.
We apologise to customers who have recently alighted at Northampton. I opened the wrong doors.
Could all the people shopping here at Asda please accept that you are piss poor?
Clean up required in the magazine aisle between loaded and nuts.
Would the parents of the lost child please pick him up from the meeting point? Madonna is trying to buy him.
I'd like to remind customers that our special offer this week is 100% off German bean sprouts.
If you would like to upgrade to first class, then you should have worked harder at school and got a better job.
Could the small boy holding the owl stop running at the wall between platforms 9 and 10?
Would the man on pump number 4 please remove the nozzle from the backside of the man on pump number 6?
Could the owner of the Ford Fiesta 1100 in the car park with the tinted windows and the go faster stripes sort your life out, mate, will you?
I can't remember what the code is. Would Mr. Fire please report? Please report to the kitchen. That's Mr. Out of Control Fire. Please report to the kitchen before it's too late. I don't want to start a panic.
The train now approaching platforms 3, 4 and 5 is the derailed train from Swansea.
Would the owners of a black Jaguar please move it as it's attacking the customers?
This is your captain speaking. You can now turn on your mobile phones as you'll need to text your loved ones goodbye as they plummet into the sea.
Unlikely lines from a superhero film.
Worry not, Procrastination Man is here. Where is everybody? What's with all the blood?
Catwoman, what did I tell you about not shitting in next door's garden?
I am Big Society Man. I could do it for you, but I'd much rather you did it yourself.
Prepare to meet a new breed of sex-change superhero in the X-Men.
Yes, I do believe a man can fly, but only if he's carrying under 100 mils.
I am Parking Review Man. Where's my check?
Wow, Iron Man, how did you get all the creases out?
Just call the police.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Well, if you don't know that, what the hell are you doing in air traffic control?
What use is a spider's web against me, Duster Man and Hoover Boy?
Hello, I'm Batman Begins.
I'm sexist, I'm racist, and I drive like an arsehole. I am White Van Man.
Should I do?
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing it. This is part of it.
Oh, shit. OK, the next topic is Unlikely things for a continuity announcer to say.
And now, to upset children everywhere, it's Peppa Pig in pepper sauce.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And Nigella will be back at the same time next week.
Up next, Ryan Giggs appears on Footballers' Wives.
Next up on Channel 4, live from Switzerland, it's Come Die With Me.
And now for a special episode of Planet Earth, where 6 chimpanzees will watch David Attenborough have sex.
And now is the time I have to be extremely careful, because the next programme is about Roald Dahl, genius behind Willy Wanker's Chuck Bollocks.
Next on the History Channel, World War II in colour. Look away if you don't want to know how it ends.
Just to clear up some confusion for our regular viewers, ITV 2+1 is not the same as ITV3.
First, though, there's a serial killer on the loose in Balamory.
If you have been affected by some of the issues in EastEnders, they must have been acting it better than they usually do.
And now, Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares for the hard of hearing.
You're watching the Dignitas channel. For God's sake, don't press the red button.
Next up, it's Bargain Hunt, which is also rhyming slang for the bloke who presents it.
Right now, Kate Humble's in the lambing shed.
Oh. Unlikely agony aunt letters.
Dear Deirdre, I have recently become obsessed with a woman and begun stalking her. Look out of the window.
My partner won't give me oral sex, which is really annoying, because that's the only reason I formed the coalition with him in the first place.
My wife says I don't feel anything, which is a problem. And there was something else. Oh, yes, I'm on fire.
I'm 26, my girlfriend's 36. Is 10 years too big an age gap? Because her daughter's 16, she's a right little soul.
I have recently met a woman who makes me feel young again. She's 167.
Dear Deirdre, I'm from Nigeria, and I'm fed up of Mickey Flanagan mocking my accent.
Dear Auntie, I'm a very, very nervous person, and sudden noises really startle me. In fact, even if I hear a buzzer, a bit of wee comes out.
My mates are all getting into drugs, but I don't know what to do. Should I charge them mates' rates or just normal prices?
Dear Deirdre, I am a control freak. What should I do? I'll tell you what I should do.
I am 96, but I'm convinced that young women fancy me. Do I have penile dementia?
I've been wanting to come and see you for a long time, but I can't get out of the chair.
I am a man trapped inside the body of a woman. could you tell us, please, how to get out of position 43 of the Kama Sutra?
I work in the public sector, and I'm really, really, really worried about my pension.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear at Wimbledon.
Well, at 2 sets down, let's see what he's got in his locker. He's not going to be there for about 20 minutes. I've got a crowbar.
Serena Williams has been seeded. You've got to admire the bravery of that bloke.
Hello, I'm Sue Barker. You may remember my father, Chew Barker.
Well, they say that the All England Club is a bit behind the times, and that's why this small boy has just had his hand chopped off for stealing a strawberry.
I am a tennis umpire and gay, and it wasn't easy to come out.
What a fantastic slice, but I do think the All England Club will insist she wears knickers again next year.
Fuck off, Tim!
Well, how did the umpire get up there? I think he must have used a set bladder.
Of course, this year the British players play a lot better. If we look at this graph, we see huge biceps and an angry... Sorry, Steffi, wrong graph.
And for any of our Scottish viewers, what you can see there in that glass of Pimm's is fruit.
Andy Murray here. Andy Murray not being able to make it here today, but we do have his cab driver on the other line. Can you tell us what's occurred? I can't get out of the cab!
And the mound has taken a real pounding in the last fortnight. England Club are fine with it as long as it doesn't affect her tennis.
Unlikely questions from this year's exams.
Discuss the metaphysical meaning of the following poem. My friend Billy has a 10-foot willy.
Would you like this exam to be A, multiple choice, or not?
The Bronte sisters. Shag, marry, push off a cliff.
Discuss the following. The Nazis got all their ideas from the History Channel.
Who was the chap in the A team who would not get on the aeroplane? Was it A, B, or B, A?
If a bank loses £60 billion in a 6-month period, using numbers that you've plucked out of thin air, work out what the chief executive's bonus will be.
Napoleon, a small man or a long way away?
Quantify n in terms of q when q is a positive integer that dissects a parabolic curve.
How's your lucky pencil case now?
What's the name of that round thing that they throw in the Olympics? Discuss.
Poetry. Is it all a bit gay?
Draw a diagram of the genitalia of the male elephant. Use all 30 sheets of paper provided.
Biology. Without singing, what is the knee bone connected to?
Explain the use of juxtaposition in Macbeth. Alternatively, write down everything you know about Macbeth in a blind panic because you've got no idea what the word juxtaposition is.
Drama. Question 1. What was it that first made you want to become a waiter?
What is your PIN number?
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to read on a motorway sign.
For Middlesbrough, take the exit marked hell and then lose the will to live.
Accident. You were one. Love, Mum and Dad.
When lights flash, dogging is about to start.
There may be trouble ahead. Prepare to face music and dance.
You are now 200 metres beyond the junction that your piece of shit sat-nav is telling you you're approaching now.
For those of you looking for more safety tips, text now.
Beware, giant scissors coming towards you along the dotted lines.
Turn on lights in tunnel. They're on the right, just above the entrance.
Turn off the sat-nav. Use the force, Luke.
The North, where the men are real men, and so are quite a lot of the women.
If you can taste this sign, it means you've crashed into it.
Throw banana skin behind car now. Super Mario and Diddy Kong approaching from rear.
There was a young man from Preston who tried to drive to Heston. The sign wouldn't rhyme and he ploughed into the back of a juggernaut.
Pick us up a pint of milk, Tell. Thanks, Trace.
We don't need it, do we? Like, it's this constant thing of, like, making things that nobody is being on the phone to someone and go, do you know what would make this so much easier to understand what you're on about? If I could smell you. I've actually just started pretending I'm Costa Rican. I will switch to whatever I need to, you know. In the cricket, I'm very Sri Lankan at the moment. During the Ashes, I pretended I was Aborigine. Like, I don't care. I will go wherever the results take me. He's basically made it fun for the Tories, because they could say anything they want. He's unelectable, so you can do whatever the hell you want, do you know what I mean? Like, we're going to kill everyone. Yeah, but I'd rather that than vote Ed Miliband. There continues to be heavy shelling here. Ramesh Ranganathan at the peanut factory. Is it what the minimum prison sentence should be for anybody that takes their shirt off in the summer? I find it unacceptable. I remember, like, when it used to be hot days, my dad would open up the curtains first thing in the morning and say, the white people are going to get naked today. Just this morning, we confiscated a bag of cannabis, and now we're asking all students to come forward if they've got Pringles. Have you had an accident that wasn't your fault and has ruined your life? Next time, use Durex. I don't understand that, because, like, if the cows farting is causing the problem, then surely eating them is the solution. I mean...
The topic is animals.
I'm into animal rights, actually. I recently watched this film, Blackfish, which is about this killer whale that ate two of the trainers at SeaWorld, killed two of the members of staff at SeaWorld. And it's an interesting film, but I do have some issues with it. You know, one of the things they say in the film is... We call them orcas. Some people call them killer whales, but these are beautiful, beautiful orcas. We call them orcas. This one killed 2 people. Right? That's a killer whale, right? He lost the right to be called orca when he slaughtered 2 people, yeah? And people are surprised by what happened. People are surprised by what happened. They say, oh, my God, I can't believe what's happened at SeaWorld. I can't believe that one of the killer whales tried to eat one of the trainers. Listen, that's not a surprise. I'm a vegan, right? If you make me dance with a sausage on my nose for long enough, eventually I will try the bloody sausage, right? I don't think that's a surprise. And the film is presenting obvious stuff. I was talking to an intelligent person about blackfish. He said to me, I can't believe what's going on at SeaWorld. It's disgusting. I can't believe they kidnapped them from the wild. How else did you think that they got them? Did you think there was some sort of recruitment drive? And the thing is, you know, is they want to set this whale free. They want to set Tilikum free because he killed 2 people. Because he killed 2 people, they want to set him free. I mean, that's the opposite of crime and punishment, isn't it? I mean, people say because he lives in such horrible conditions. Listen, people live in horrible conditions. We don't let them off for doing stuff. You don't say, oh, Derek here killed 6 people. We can't do anything about it because he lives in Hastings.
Thank you very much, Robert. I'm going to give the point to Angela Barnes there. Everything come back. Thank you very much.
Well, as a vegan, I wanted to supplement my son's education, so I'm helping him to learn to read. That's one of the things that I'm doing, and helping your child to read is one of the most magical and rewarding things that you can do as a parent, on day 1. After that, it's one of the most frustrating, annoying, I'd rather punch myself in the face repeatedly than ever do this again activity that you can ever do. And let me tell you why. They do not care about making sense. Right? They'll just read all the easy words. When they get to one they don't know, instead of trying, they'll just look at the picture and just throw something random into the sentence without any regard for what effect that has on what they're saying. And I'm supposed to not get angry. I'm supposed to not get angry when my son goes, Jack went strawberry? How could that be what it said? How could it be Jack went strawberry? What are you talking about? What would that even look like? How could that be what it said? Tell me. I tell you what, you think that's what it said, you go strawberry now. Go on. No, go strawberry. That's what you think it said. Stop crying, go strawberry. Go strawberry. Why didn't you do it? Go kiwi then, I don't give a shit. You're not doing it, are you? I'll tell you why not, because it doesn't make any bloody sense. My wife thinks I'm overreacting.
Thank you very much, Robert.
I do think it is a weird strategy, because what you're saying is we're going to make it OK for you to park by a broken meter. So, you know, a solution seems to be fix the meters. Do you know what I mean? Rather than make it OK to park next to broken ones. It's like saying, well, you know, all the trains are late and we know they never arrive, you know, when they're supposed to. So what we've decided to do to tackle the problem, we've decided to abandon the concept of time. So nobody's ever going to be late for anything. We plan to replace the glass ceiling for women with something much easier to clean.
We was in Birmingham the other week doing a gig and you had cream on top of your goulash.
No, listen.
Hey.
Hang on, why are you eating goulash? Goulash is... it's meat in goulash.
I'm not that much of an idiot. It was vegetable goulash. Can I have a beef goulash, but hold the beef? Rob and I had an argument, a discussion about the fact that I thought it had combined so much with the goulash that it rendered the situation untenable. But Rob said, "You could have scooped that out, mate. I don't know what's wrong with you." It's not vegan. It's eating cream over here. I haven't even heard of it in Lewisham.
Oh, we're such great mates.
What do you think it got to the point where, like, you know, Nick Clegg finally thinks he's stepping up to the plate, like Cameron's on the phone? Listen, my phone reception is a nightmare. We've got an important situation. Nick, I need you to step up. I need you to do the right thing. Can you get in touch with Vodafone and get this sorted out? Russell Crowe stars as Bob Marley. The accent's so offensive you won't even care that he blacked up. As I report from my 6th day here in war-torn Syria, I think the lesson learned is that I should never have called my producer a wanker. A UKIP film presentation, 101 Damn Asians. Newark is actually an anagram of Nigel Farage's nickname.
What? Cron?
I love the way that they clapped at different times, depending on how quickly they got it.
There is an element of chase going on there.
Come on. Well, I'm really sad to be leaving you as your maths teacher. I've got no idea why I've been made redundant, because I've always felt that I've given 110%. I think, you know, actually we should be talking about immigration now, because it's a good thing that he's put it on the table, because, you know, a lot of Europeans are coming into the country and taking jobs that my parents worked so hard to steal in the 70s. It's actually a very exciting game they play, where they just sit there for hours and see which one tries to rehydrate themselves first. Because when... I mean, again, speaking as a vegan, but my problem with it is... Are you a vegan? Listen, get on board, all right? Jesus. You guys disgust me. Yes. You cheese and meat-eating pricks.
Anyway, please, every part of the show, preface every topic we do with, as a vegan.
My point is, Dara, if I may...
The pizza!
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, pizza, nightmare, right?
Of course, you've missed the main ingredient.
I love pizza, ordered a pizza, right, with no cheese, right? No cheese.
Yeah.
What I didn't realise is not only does cheese add flavour, it also has an adhesive quality. What I got was a box of bread with some vegetables in the corner of the box. The public have spoken, and they said that I'm a knob.
We're not interested, we're not engaged. I think they should combine the election of a leader of the European Commission with the Eurovision Song Contest. So,
How is combining two things that we're not interested in going to make it more interesting? The issue that I have is that, you know, UKIP sort of attracting votes from sort of the elderly. You know, that this is sort of who are increasingly supporting them. And the thing is that you get worried because you think, well, I've sort of had more racist experiences from elderly people, and you can sort of understand how this comes about. But I actually think that elderly people should just be allowed to be racist, because, like, they've got enough shit going on in their lives, like, without having to re-educate themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've pissed myself, I've got 2 false hips, and now I can't say darky. Like, it's... I'm quite happy to make him feel comfortable, bump into an elderly person, just give him the old wobble head to make him feel all right. I don't like going out. Don't like going out because I don't look as good as I used to, and I worry about it. I've put on weight, and I think, oh, I don't look all right, and then I think, hold on a minute, I'm married. I don't need to look good. I just need to look better than the prospect of single parenting. And I think I've got that in the tank, you know what I mean? I went out a while ago, and I was out with my friends. We're all in our 30s. We look like awful tribute acts of us in our 20s, and... There's guys there that are in their 20s looking ripped and amazing, and I'm thinking, are they going to make us feel bad? Are they going to make us feel awkward? Are they going to make us feel like we're stepping on their turf? And the truth is, they ignore us. Of course they do. Why would they care? See a pride of lions hunting gazelle, they're not going to give a shit when a 3-legged hyena rocks up, are they? Comes to the end of the night, this absolutely gorgeous girl walks up to me, does not break eye contact for a second. I said, hello, this is happening. Can phone my wife, tell her I've still got it. The girl walks up to me, says to me, no word of a lie, taxi for Rachel.
Thank you very much, Robert.
TV shows that never made it to air.
Hi, I'm Bill Oddie, and this is Badger Cull Live.
Complicated financial fraud, she wrote.
Yes, it's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Police, camera, paperwork.
Let's see if you can guess who it is in Lloyd Grossman's Through the Arsehole.
Celebrity Love Island. Oh, no, Christ, that really happened.
You've been shot.
The subject is clubbing. Who wants to talk about that? Miles.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can all tell I'm a bit of a clubber. Nothing I like more than getting down to the local hotspot and shaking the old batty and ting, a bit of shawaddy-waddy. Don't mind if I do. I have tried night clubbing. It's not really my thing. I'm a bit too delicate, my system. I was in a nightclub recently. A fellow young raver danced up and shouted, "I'm loving it, loving it, loving it!" I replied, "I'm finding it all a bit noisy, finding it all a bit noisy, finding it all a bit noisy." People jump around like crazy in those places. At one point, my cup and saucer was knocked clean out of my hand. It's tricky. I mean, I've tried the dancing. That's not my thing either. I don't care if I haven't got sexy Latin rhythms. I've got a Latin A-level. Much more transferable in the job market. I was on the dance floor recently. A lot of my fellow young ravers were blowing whistles, so I joined in and gave a bloody good pop on my bugle. Unfortunately, that meant half the Bosworth Hunt came charging in across the dance. Hounds mistook 3 of the ginger students for foxes, and there was a hell of a mess.
Thank you very much, Miles Joff. OK, that leaves us with Jack. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is health.
I know what you're thinking. Yeah, that is my gun. So, we are in the midst of an obesity epidemic, and the people I blame, definitely, are the supermarkets, because I don't think they're doing enough, right? Like, you go into any supermarket now, you buy food. If you care about what you put into your body, you look at the nutritional information, you know, the little wheel of guilt that every packet has on it now. That lures you in, doesn't it? Like, you buy something, like ice cream. It's like, this ice cream only contains 5% of your daily intake of calories. You're like, oh, that's very promising. I'll buy and eat the ice cream then. Then you look up a little bit closer, above the little wheel of guilt, tiny white writing, 1/8 of a tub. Oh, you cheeky bastard. You're not allowed to do that. Put on the packet whatever makes it sound good to sell the product, then make up ludicrously unrealistic portion size so I buy it like a twat. That's like Greg's game. This sausage roll only contains 2% of your daily intake of calories. If you lick it. It needs to do more. I think what the supermarkets need to start doing is putting warnings on their packets of food, like they do with cigarettes. You buy cigarettes, it's got a horrible picture of, like, a lung caked in shit. You're like, oh, I don't want to smoke that. You should do it with food. Tesco's on cakes should just have pictures of, I don't know, a really fat woman crying as she walks out of Topshop empty-handed.
OK, at the end of that round, what the hell? Points for everyone. Come on, sit back down here.
Now we play a round called Trump Around, Trump Around, Trump Up, and Get Down. This game involves John and James. If you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is home life. Who wants to come in that?
So, my girlfriend went away for 4 weeks to Australia, and in the run-up to her going away, She was very concerned about how we'd cope. I... sort of less worried about that. I'll be honest with you, what I was mainly thinking in the run-up to my girlfriend going to Australia for 4 weeks was... Ray! Ray! Lads, lads, lads! Down the pub! That's a pint glass, by the way. Turns out they've moved on. Their girlfriends aren't away, their kids exist. And my flat is now just turned into a blank, grief-walled cell of despair because I see it without my girlfriend in it for the first time. And so my mind just begins to fill with all the everyday things that lose their magic without her, because that's what I think love is. It's a domestic thing. The other day, she was emptying the bin, and I knew it was going to split because she doesn't buy heavy-duty bin bags because she doesn't listen to me. And she's lifting out the bin, and I can see the main sort of bulk of the refuse is staying there. Meanwhile, the bag itself is just stretching, getting clearer and clearer till it's little more than a shadow. And I think, well, that bag is going to split, but I can't tell her because I've learned. I hear this shrill cry. It's a sound that I've not heard my girlfriend make before, because I'm not much in the bedroom. And I thought, well, that bin bag split, hasn't it? Time to go and lighten the atmos with a few choice quips about why we use heavy-duty bin bags.
John Robbins! OK, that leaves us with James. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is cinema. Where you go?
Speaking of the cinema, Sarah Pascoe's an idiot. Love going to the cinema. My favourite film I ever saw at the cinema was the Eddie Redmayne classic, The Theory of Everything. Loved it. It should have been called Look Who's Hawking. That's my only criticism. No, but it's perfect. Worst part of going to the cinema is other people. Easily. I'm sitting there. King of the Jerks is behind me. This really angry man. Had a go at me at one point because I was snacking. Get over yourself, Grandad. I'll do what I like. In his defence, I was eating a big bag of fortune cookies. Cracking them open, reading them out loud. It was disruptive. It was disruptive. End of this film, man behind me goes, ugh, that's 2 hours of my life I'm not getting back. I thought, oh, got some bad news for this guy. Every hour of your life. Now you're never getting back. They're gone forever. Time is not refundable. Death is the end. And I know that because 5 minutes earlier, I'd read it in a fortune cookie.
Thank you very much, James A. Carter. James Ryan, the poet's going to John Robbins.
Unlikely things to hear in a restaurant.
Let's skip the pudding. You look like you've had enough already.
Wow, thanks for picking up the bill, Dara.
No, I'm sorry, we don't have snail porridge. No, this isn't owned by Heston Blumenthal. This is Heston Services.
How does crispy aromatic duck sound? Quack, quack. But that was before it was either crispy or aromatic.
Do I have a reservation? Well, I'm not sure about all these Polish people moving over here.
Table for two, please. But no food. I'm a woodworm.
This is a traditional Greek restaurant, so don't worry if you can't pay. The German government will cover it.
You'd like a Foster's?
Hang on, I'll see if we've got any left. Barry, any Fosters left? Yeah, keg's nearly full, Jim.
Here's the tip. If you find the rest of the chef's penis, please let us know.
Have you been to a harvester before? I'm joking, no one comes twice.
It's nice to see the rugby players getting along with the dwarves.
Well, that's an unusual taste, isn't it? What is in this death by chocolate?
It's nice to see Zara and Mike getting along.
Yes, it is all-you-can-eat night, and that's why you can't come in, Mr. Pickles.
Oh, my God. There's a man's face in my soup and it looks just like me.
Excellent choice, sir. This lady is much fitter than your wife.
Rose for the lady. If you want to do something for the lady, why don't you fuck off?
OK, the point go to Chris Hughes-Stewart. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is alternative medicine. Can I have a volunteer to talk about that? Andy.
Apparently, a lot of people trying to get into therapy at the moment. Other people knocking it, saying, you know, oh, well, you should just lose your inhibitions, talk about your problems to your friends. I thought I'd try this. I talked about my problems to my friends for a whole hour. Lost my inhibitions, also lost my friends. I now tell my problems to taxi drivers. 2 advantages in this. 1, it stops the taxi driver from telling you his problems. And 2, it's amazing how much quicker you get to your bloody destination.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is the media. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
I'll do that. I'd see, you know, the way I like getting the news is Radio 5 Live. It's fantastic, 'cause it's just news and nutters, isn't it? They'll read out, like, that was the Pope's view on abortion, and then, hello, Felicity Puddleduck here, livid and ill-informed. I'd just like to say those harlots who give birth to their children aged 2 that charge you to national service. I'm off to bake a cake. And you sat there listening, and then the next night, David, are you out of your mind? Cloning? Think it through. 2 versions of me. Want to go out and commit a crime? Who gets blamed for it? Me! I'm doing a 20 string. He's banging my wife. Where's the justice? And you sat there listening to these nutters, and then the most ridiculous story. A man in Bristol's found the face of Jesus on a crisp. And suddenly, I couldn't believe how you put up my frazzles. There he was.
Russell Howard. This game involves Nathan Caton and Ed Gamble, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is the stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And the first topic is home life. Nathan.
Yeah, I could talk about home life. I still live at home with my mum still. Thanks for the judgmental silence. Yeah, I live at home. My mates give me the most stick for it, because I'm the last one in my group of friends who still lives at home with my mum. They've all moved out, so they see me as a mummy's boy. And every time they see me, they're like, Nathan, what's wrong with you, man? Why are you still at your mum's, man? Aren't you embarrassed? Why are you still at your mum's? Why are you still at your mum's? It's like, I live in West London. Have you seen house prices? I'm not going anywhere, man. If anything, I'm looking at my mum thinking, when are you going to bloody leave? Clinging on, let it go, woman. She's gonna slap the black off me when she sees this. Yeah, I like peace and quiet. Although, to be honest, at home, I'm not getting a lot of peace and quiet at the moment, mainly because of my mum and my stepdad. They got married quite recently. And I'm happy for my mum. You know, she found happiness. She deserves it. However, at the moment, they're going through that honeymoon phase where they're having sex all the time. Yeah, it is bloody disturbing, man. Because my bedroom is, like, right next door. So, like, every time they do it, I hear everything. Like, a few Saturdays ago, right? It's late at night. I'm about to go to sleep. From next door, I can hear my stepdad going, "Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Say something nasty, say something nasty, say something nasty." So I screamed out, "You're not my real dad!"
Thank you very much, Devin Devin. OK, that leaves us with Ed. Let's see what topic you've been left with. And the topic is diet.
I hope this isn't just a hint that I need to lose weight. Because I've lost quite a lot of weight recently anyway. I've lost about 6 stone in the last 3 years. Cheers, guys, thanks. I mean, no. Too late, you went with the British reaction. Thank you very much. Couldn't give a shit, mate. Carry on. We don't... Stop showing off. We don't want to hear about it. Found myself in a bit of a nightmare situation recently. I went to the Middle East to do some gigs. Now, that bit was nice, that was lovely, but they put you up in a hotel where the food is all-you-can-eat buffets 3 times a day for 10 days. Now, this is a nightmare scenario for me because I cannot be trusted at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Sometimes I don't even remember the buffet bit. All I remember is picking up a plate and I'll wake up 6 hours later covered in rice and sauce. And I can't theme a buffet. I can't theme a buffet either. I won't pick up a plate and go, "Oh, I'll have some rice, I'll have some curry. Well done, Ed, you've made yourself an Indian meal." Won't do that. I'll get a plate, I'll get a spoon, and I'll run along the full line of trays, just scraping food from every nation onto it until I've got some sort of plate Pangea, just an unidentifiable mass, just Spanish food, Japanese food, Chinese food, Indian food, coffee, sushi, just horrible. Just wedge my face into it, everyone going, "Is that man all right?" Don't look at me! I'm having a buffet! Just food from all over the world. My body for 10 days had no idea where I was on this planet. I went for a shit 3 days in, a UN flag came out.
The first subject is alternative medicine. Can I have a volunteer to talk about that? Andy.
Apparently, a lot of people trying to get into therapy at the moment, other people knocking it, saying, you know, "Oh, well, you should just lose your inhibitions, talk about your problems to your friends." I thought I'd try this. I talked about my problems to my friends for a whole hour. Lost my inhibitions, also lost my friends. I now tell my problems to taxi drivers. 2 advantages in this. 1, it stops the taxi driver from telling you his problems. And 2, it's amazing how much quicker you get to your bloody destination.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is the media. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
I'll do that. I'd see, you know, the way I like getting the news is Radio 5 Live. It's fantastic, 'cause it's just news and nutters, isn't it? They'll read out, like, "That was the Pope's view on abortion," and then, "Hello, Felicity Puddleduck here, livid and ill-informed. I'd just like to say those harlots should give birth to their children aged 2 that charged you to national service. I'm off to bake a cake." And sat there listening, and then the next night, "David, are you out of your mind? Cloning? Think it through. 2 versions of me. Want to go out and commit a crime? Who gets blamed for it? Me! I'm doing a 20 string. He's banging my wife. Where's the justice?" And you sat there listening to these nutters, and then the most ridiculous story. A man in Bristol's found the face of Jesus on a crisp. And suddenly, I couldn't believe it. I opened up my frazzles. There he was.
Russell Howard. OK, the leads are Hugh and Frankie. The next topic is sport.
Do you know, I've heard a rumour that horse racing may not be completely honest. It's unbelievable, isn't it? But how do you stop the corruption? Well, one solution may be to call horses something like mafia-backed second favourite. Because if everyone did that, everyone would be confused, no one would know who to bet on, and the whole thing would be fair again. And her off in the first to show is Blatantly Bribed, followed by Mafia-backed second favourite. They're just ahead of Dope to the Gills, Mysterious Limp. And just behind them, Out for a Canter, and I'll Fall at the Fifth. And as they come to the fifth, I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen. I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen at the fifth in a magnificent display of cheating. And they're coming into the final furlong. Mysterious Limp is slowing. Out for a Canter is clearly struggling, but coming through strongly is Mafia-backed second favourite. And as they cross the line, Mafia-backed second favourite has won it, which is remarkable, seeing as he has no head. That's been left in someone's bed for tomorrow morning.
Well done, you. Well done, you. OK, Frankie, let's see what you've been left with. And it's environment.
Didn't that used to be an advert for mints? Ryanair getting a hard time from the environmental lobby because they've launched a £7 flight to New York. Although, as always with Ryanair, it does land slightly outside New York, in Dublin. It's a pity we can't harness more natural energy, isn't it? Pity we can't harness the power of British moaning. Oh no, that moaning-powered light bulb's on the blink again. Oh no, there it is, back on. Everyone complained about the floods, didn't they? I like storms. I like thunder and lightning. What I like to do during a storm is shag my girlfriend and pretend that we're taking part in the conception of the Antichrist.
Frankie Boyle, ladies and gentlemen. The first subject is relationships. Who wants to come in that? Reece.
It's a pretty exciting time for me at the moment. My girlfriend is currently planning the wedding. Sorry, not girlfriend anymore, is it? I keep doing that. It's not girlfriend. She gets so annoyed. My ex-girlfriend is planning her wedding. It's very hurtful for me to watch, but one of those things. Anyway, got a new girlfriend now, because that's how comedy works. Got a new one, and she's all right, my girlfriend. She's pretty good. She's not perfect. She's got her quirks and her tics, like she pronounces it espresso instead of expression. She's weird. And... relationships about compromise, though, aren't they? We all know that. Like, she doesn't want to watch football, and I don't want to die alone, so we don't watch football. That's the yin and the yang. You give and you take. We're trying to keep it fresh, trying to keep it exciting, me and my girlfriend, you know, trying to keep it, you know, lively, try new things all the time. Like, she keeps talking about how she wants to have sex outside of the relationship. I don't know. Constant surprises, me and my girlfriend. She bought me a gift the other day. I went round to the flat. There was this gift. It was a word of the day calendar. Don't know if you've seen these. Pretty cool. Different word every day of the year. That is more than 100 words. Pretty cool. Favourite word for me so far from the calendar? Exponentially. Ah, what a word. Exponentially. Use it all the time now. In fact, I'd say, ever since learning the word exponentially, my use of the word exponentially has increased loads. I use it all the time. Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Reece. That leaves us with Milton. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is transport.
So I got here by train. For the whole journey, there was a child opposite screaming. I could even hear him through my wolf mask. But it was a quiet carriage and people were getting annoyed, so in the end, we both stopped howling. When a stewardess got on the train, she looked at me and said, "Do you mind if I do my makeup on the train?" I said, "Well, it's still going to look like a train, isn't it?" She put her hand out and said, "I'm Amber." I said, "Yes, I think you've overdone the makeup." Anyway, one thing led to another, and, well, I'm going to skip a bit now. I was sitting in traffic the other day, and I got run over.
The first subject is jobs. Who wants to come in that? Glenn.
There were loads of jobs I wanted when I was a kid, whether it was starting up a Ouija board business with my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, or becoming a detective like Poirot or Craig David's girlfriend's parents in Fill Me In. always wanted to be a movie star, you know, like a proper method actor like Eddie Murphy, because, you know, Eddie Murphy is so method and so committed that to get into the role of a vet in Dr. Dolittle, Eddie Murphy actually spent 10 years starring in lots of other shit films. It's so expensive everywhere you go if you don't have a job, you know? Like, I stopped getting haircuts after a while because there's hidden costs even when you get a haircut. Like, you think you're paying for just the haircut, and then at the end of the haircut, the hairdresser does that really annoying thing where they try and convince you to buy one of their mirrors and go, oh, what do you think of this? Do you know what I say? I say, I don't want to buy one of your mirrors. I want you to wash my hair at an angle I've otherwise never been at. So expensive everywhere you go. Like, I used to get the bus to work every day. Get this, £29 per bus journey. £29 per bus journey is insane. And not as insane as this woman who used to sit on the top deck every day with a microphone telling us where in London we were. £29 per bus journey, you can't even afford a roof. It takes 3.5 hours to get between Buckingham Palace and Westminster, neither of which are places I work at. But, you know, for the first time in my life, I thought, I've got a job. I can buy things. I can buy things for my room. I can buy a chest of drawers and a desk lamp and a flashing neon halal sign for my window. And when you get a job, you think, oh, great, now I'm a proper grown-up. Next step, getting married, having kids, so I can be one of those proper adults who can call themselves on Facebook and LinkedIn a father to 2 amazing daughters, mother to 3 amazing sons. And I can't call myself that because I don't have those kids, and people don't really like it when I call myself a nephew to 3 gorgeous uncles.
Thank you very much, Len. OK, that leaves us with James. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is growing up.
Oh, I thought it was feet for a second there. You grow up in little bits and increments, in my opinion, bit by bit. I think the first time you become even a little bit of a grown-up is when your parents start letting you make your own squash. It's a big day, because until then, my mum was making all the squash all the time, and I don't want to offend Richard's watching, but it was the weakest-ass squash I've ever had in my life. It was so bad, I'd have to squint it. Like, I guess that's got a vague orange tint to it. I'm trying to imagine what that tastes like as a flavour when I'm drinking it. Then you go around some other kid's house whose parents are a bit more laissez-faire. That squash knocks your socks off, it's incredible. I'd be like, whoa, you got access to this squash on the daily? He's like, yeah, but my parents don't pay me much attention and I'm worried they don't love me. It's like, I would leave it all in a heartbeat. So one sip of this squash, tell your dad I love him, tell your dad I love him. I had to make a squash for my nephew recently. First time I made squash since I was living with my parents. I haven't done it in between because I'm an adult who doesn't have kids. And I know there are some adults watching who don't have kids who drink squash, but let me tell you, if you are the kind of person who drinks squash even though there's no kids in the house, you got bodies in the walls and heads in the freezer. I don't trust a single one of you. I was out of practice making squash and I had to make it for my nephew, let me tell you. I should have really, like, given myself a side view so I could see the glass proper, but I didn't. I'm 32. I got so close to the glass still, so I looked straight down at it. Just straight down. It was just a flat circle. I had no idea of depths or dimensions. I hoofed it in. I damn near gave that kid type 2. It was bouncing off the walls on Fun Uncle James's mega squash, losing his mind, going looping. At one point, he starts asking me weird questions. He goes, Uncle James, how come my lip skin is different to the rest of my skin? I was like, I've never thought about that, but now you've said it, not a day's going to go by when I don't think about it. Imagine if your whole body was lip skin. It'd take you hours to get ready in the morning. She'd be stood there with a chapstick. That's if you were the only one covered in lip skin. Obviously, you'd have a little chapstick. If we were all lip skin and that was just the whole human race, then there'd be like a giant chapstick in the living room from floor to ceiling, rotating at the speed of a kebab spit. The whole family would line up like cats on a scratching post. Always in the morning. And then we'd walk out into a world where no one could shake hands for fear of becoming aroused.
Thank you very much, James. The first subject is credit crunch. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Now, the government have got this idea that what they want to do is bankers who've lost their jobs They want to retrain them as teachers, but in half the time it would normally take to train a teacher. I bet the teachers are happy about that, aren't they? Hey, these people were crap at banking. The chances are they're also going to be crap at teaching, and they'll be even crapper if they're trying to train them in half the time it would normally take. Yeah, these people, right, surely it'd be better to retrain them as bankers. That is what they were crap at.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is eating out. Who wants to talk about that? Rod.
I ate out the other day. That's what I went to Cardiff Bay. It's all changed, you know. They've done it all up, and it's all European development money. And some of the places now have got tables outside. It's al fresco dining in Wales. Just taking the piss. I think I tried to have a Twixt on a bus stop a few years ago down there. It was too wet to eat. So everyone's pretending it's Madrid down there. You know, your soup bowl's filling up faster than you can eat it. I didn't get past my starters after 7 hours of soup and rainwater I gave up. Everyone's pretending it's Madrid, don't you? Your soup bowl's filling up. There's waiters with frosted eyebrows fighting their way to the tables going, spaghetti carbonara, spaghetti carbonara. I'll get another one, I'll get another one.
Rock'n'roll. That leaves us with Tom and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is extreme sports. Who wants to come in on that?
No,
Tom.
Why not? I went skydiving. I don't know if anybody here has ever gone skydiving, but if you haven't gone, I'll tell you what they do. They give you a couple lessons, then they bring you up into the plane, and you're not allowed to jump out of the plane on your own because it's too scary. So what they do is they hang you off the wing of the plane, which isn't scary at all. And the guy inside, he yells, "Let go!" 3 times. Then he gets mad. Starts kicking your hands. 'Cause I'm not letting go. We all skydive different. I skydive with a big plane in my hand.
OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is families.
Well, families are quite peculiar. Mine are wonderful. I went to Brighton the other day, and my uncle was like, "Watch out, it's full of gays, and they'll get you. They'll get me. They're gays, they're not ninjas. Not gonna..." I'm so glad that I was raised by lunatics. I remember one of the weirdest stories I had happen to me when I was little. I was 8 years old. I was in Lanzarote. I just put some rubbish in a bin. I came around a corner and I was confronted by 2 werewolves, right? Turned out it wasn't werewolves, it was my mum and dad. Ah, ha, ha, isn't it hilarious? Not really, I've shat myself, right? But I've only recently found out they did not buy the wolf masks in Lanzarote. They bought them in England, which is beautiful and chilling at the same time. Look what I've got, David. Couple of wolf masks. You know, you don't like wolves, don't you? Captain Shitterbrick next door. Well, let's put him on now, scare him. Can I hold you just there, David? Can I wait until we're in a foreign country, get him really out of his comfort zone, and then properly shit him out?
Families. Well done, Russell. This is where we test our performance stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge to produce the funniest stuff. That is just against nature. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the first topic is Britain. Who wants to come in on that?
Yes, I love Britain. Do you? Kind of. I think Britain's amazing, but I think we're quite hard on ourselves. Like, if you go to America and you do shows, they always get this thing where you go on stage in America, like in Chicago, and you say, "Oh, so what's Chicago like?" And they go nuts. They go, "Woo, yeah, Chicago, woo, woo, woo," for about a day. And then you come back over to Britain and you go to somewhere like Birmingham and you say, "Oh, so what's Birmingham like?" And they all go, "Oh, it's a bit shit." I live in London, in Britain. I live in Kentish Town, which is lovely because it is actually like a Kentish town. Unfortunately, the town in Kent it's like is Maidstone, which is crap. North London's quite posh, though, because there's a hairdresser's near us, which is called the Elysian Fields Hairdressers. Oh, it's where heroic hair goes to die. Isn't that it? Where I used to live in South London, the hairdresser was called We're Going to Cut You, Slag.
Thank you very much, Mr. Porter. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is sport. Who wants to come in on that?
So, hey, Freddie Flintoff, how drunk would he have been on Monday night? That's all I've got on that one. We have got a great new British hope for our sport, though. Laura Robson, Britain's tennis, 15 years old, both her parents Australian. We don't mind immigration when they've got a bit of talent. We object to people sneaking into Britain on a rubber dinghy unless they can do it really bloody quickly.
Thank you very much, Andy Parton. OK, that leaves us with Greg and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is education. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I remember school being fun. I think my favourite moment ever in life, pretty much. There was a girl in our school called Lydia. She was trying to make her calculator work. She was repeatedly knocking it against a desk. And after about an hour, our teacher went, Lydia! How would you like it if I banged you against the desk? It's the greatest day of school. But now it's more sinister, isn't it? Like, they're now talking about teaching 5-year-olds sex education. Of course, people are very angry. It's disgusting! It's too much! Like, calm down. Not going to teach them technique. Right, this is how I like to do it, kids. That's right. Kids aren't going to run home, put dolls around a toy car and go, look, Mum, they're dogging, they're dogging. It's going to be some poor teacher trying to talk to 5-year-olds about love. Can you imagine a harder job? Hello, children. I'm here to teach you about love. Good luck with that, mate. I'm off to lick that tree.
Thank you very much, Russell. OK, Greg, let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is the human body.
I have to tell you that being a tall man in this country is tedious, ladies and gentlemen. Tedious, because in small towns throughout the country, there are a series of jokes prepared by the locals on our behalf. I'll be walking innocently into a local pub or down the street, and I'll get several jokes. One of the jokes might be this. Just to give you an example of the level we're talking about. Another joke might be, what's the weather like up there? It's freezing. There's a massive climate change in this amount of space here. You toothless buffoon. Probably the most offensive example of this is genuine. I was at a cash point, and there was a little old woman in front of me at the cash point tapping away with her claws, and I'm sorry, I'm just quite angry about this. And when she'd finished, bless her heart, she turned around, and she hadn't seen me, she turned around and she went like this. Oh! Maybe not that sexually. She said, oh! And then with no hint of irony at all, she asked me this question. Would you like a job at my house, changing light bulbs? No. No, old woman. I have plans of my own. Now, get out of the way of the cash point. 20 minutes is long enough for you to have worked out that that's a Tesco club card.
Thank you very much, Greg. First subject is sleep. Ebra.
Does anyone here sleep with someone who snores? Yes? Well, I envy you, because I lie awake next to someone who snores. My wife snores terribly, and part of what keeps me awake is lying there going, how do you sleep through this? I can't sleep through it, I'm only next to it. The noise is inside your head. And how come you can sleep through that? But the sound of me making a sandwich in our kitchen, that wakes you up. There is no way me making a sandwich makes more noise than you're making right now. She snores. So she said the cutest thing to me one time, though. She says, "Do I not sound like a kitten purring?" Bless. No. You sound like a cat drowning in porridge. If I had a kitten made that noise, I'd put it down. Apparently she had her nose broken a couple of times when she was a kid. Didn't teach her, she's still bleeding snores.
Thank you very much, Ed. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is health. Andy Parsons.
With flu jabs now, what they do, don't they, is they put a little bit of flu into you to help you combat the flu. I was thinking by that argument, surely you should be able to have the odd cake to help you fight obesity. Because let's face it, you can do too much exercise, can't you? You know, did you see Madonna's arms? They didn't look right, did they? It's like half human, half Terminator. Of course, that's the problem when you're always picking up small African children going, no, no, no.
Thank you very much, Andy. OK, that leaves it with Russell and Jack. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is television. Who wants to come into that? Jack.
I get very frustrated with pretty much everything on television. I find adverts at the moment particularly annoying, like the banking adverts, because they're trying to portray bankers as being nice people. Like, they've got this one at the moment for, like, a mobile bank that travels around the country, and you walk in and there's your friendly local bank manager acting like a hairdresser, like, nattering away. You know, you walk up to the till, it's like, "Oh, how was your holiday?" "I went camping." "Oh, why did you go camping?" "Because you lost all of my money!" Decided the only option I've got is just to not watch TV at all, because everything annoys me. And I've got quite a lot of people that pressure me into doing that as well. Like my dad, he's quite old-fashioned. He's always saying, "You don't need to watch television. You should do other things, better things, more edifying things. Don't watch TV, Jack. You should read. Read the great novels. They're entertaining, they're educational. Even read the Bible. The Bible is engrossing, it's enthralling. The stories of Jesus, they're encapsulating, they're invigorating." I'm like, "No, Dad. If I wanted to be entertained by 12 people sat round a table trying to impress some bearded Jewish know-it-all that thinks he's some kind of deity, I will watch The Apprentice."
Thank you very much, Jack Whitehall. OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. That's fitness.
Could have been camel toes. Now, I was in the gym the other day. I was in a locker room, and a 5-year-old boy ran in and jumped into a locker. Now, sometimes you know you're just going to have an incident, right? You could hear him in there giggling, and you knew what he was going to do. He was going to jump out and scare his mates, because his mates appeared seconds later, like, "Where's Stephen gone? Where's Stephen? He was near a minute ago. This